It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Good morning. Welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News on this, what is today? Today's the 14th day of May, 2022. Coming to you live from on board the Quantum of the Seas as we are heading toward a rendezvous tomorrow with in Canada. We're finally going to go into Canada officially at Victoria. I've not been there, so I probably will go ashore, but we'll be in Victoria tomorrow. Also tomorrow, of course, is the Cruise Amigos at 2 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. I will be doing that also with Amigo Martin and Amigo John. Today is National Train Day. Now, most of you know that have been following the exploits of this adventure that I traveled by train to Seattle. And on Monday, when I get off the ship in Seattle, I'm going to get back on the train and take the train to Virginia. Hopefully, along the way, Amigo John will be joining me someplace in Montana, and we'll spend a day together on the train as it rolls down the rails. Looking forward to that, of course. All right, cruise ships sailing today from North American ports up in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Silversea's Silver Cloud gets underway. In Toronto, the Viking Octantis sails. In Baltimore, Enchantment of the Seas and the American Star. Down at Port Canaveral, you got the Carnival Freedom, Disney Fantasy, and the Mardi Gras. In West Palm Beach, the official, absolutely make it real sailing of Margaritaville Paradise is today. Finally, get that ship underway in its new digs and new life. Port Everglades, you got the Caribbean Princess, Allure of the Seas, and the Queen Elizabeth. Down in Miami, Symphony of the Seas, MSC Seashore, and the Carnival Horizon, plus Explorer of the Seas. In Mobile, the Carnival Ecstasy gets underway. Galveston, the Carnival Breeze, and the Carnival Vista both sail today. Out in Los Angeles at Long Beach, you got the Carnival Panorama sailing. Seattle, the Crown Princess, Eurodam, Norwegian Bliss, and the American Spirit. Vancouver, the Koningsdam, plus Royal Caribbean's Land and Sea packages. Anchorage, you got the Majestic Princess. You got the Grand Princess Land and Sea, Celebrity Land and Sea, Celebrity Millennium Land and Sea. In Fairbanks, the Grand Princess Land and Sea, Celebrity Millennium Land and Sea, and the Royal Princess Land and Sea. In Calgary, the Majestic Princess Land and Sea. And out in Honolulu, the Pride of America. So that's the ship sailing today. In the headlines today, traffic situation in Galveston is finally easing. 2 Aida ships return from Drydock. Viking took delivery on the Viking Mars this week. And MSC launches a stay and cruise program. That and a lot more here at 11. If you're listening to this via the podcast, welcome aboard, of course. You can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or at all the major outlets for podcasts like Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Podchaser, Stitcher, all the big guys. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and up pops the Fat Travel Guy. Yesterday was a really busy day here, and we were in Juneau yesterday. Of course, I was up at Odark 30 and up outside on the upper deck as we were in the Endicott Arm, sailing toward the Dawes Glacier. Unfortunately, there was quite a great deal of ice flow, so the captain could not get us all the way into the base of the glacier, but we got in pretty close. But still, the scenery was just magnificent. It is well worth the trip, just for the scenery, honest to goodness. And then we got back into Juneau, and my new friends Sue and Barry, that are my dinner companions, I accompanied them to Mount Roberts Tram, and we rode the tram up to the top despite some kind of iffy weather. Got to the top and it started sleeting and raining from just awful. But we were at the top, and we looked around a little bit at the gift shop and the restaurant and the movie, and went out to the Outlook, and then took the tram back down. That's, again, folks, you guys know my feelings about accessible excursions. There's not many that have been available to me so far. So I got one, took advantage of it, and it was wonderful. Well worth the money. Both the excursions I've done on this cruise have been exceptional. Going up the tram, which is something I've always wanted to do, despite my fear of heights and everything else. And of course, the lumberjack show and catch can. They were just two phenomenal excursions. So if you're in Alaska, schedule both. They're well worth the money. I did find out, at least as far as the tram goes, and I shouldn't say this real loudly, we just walked in and booked it there at about half the price of what they were going to charge on a cruise ship. Now, it was $45. It was still a bit of money, but I'm not sure that, since I've had difficulty booking accessible excursions on the ships, and maybe you just go wing it and find your own. I will be doing some more research on that one, folks, because I don't want to send people out looking for something with nothing to do in bad situations. So ignore that. Let me keep doing some more research on it. All right. I'll be back with today's news after a word from one of our network sponsors. All right, back with today's news. Cruise travelers from the port of Galveston. I was just there. And boy, this was so true. But Galveston may be seeing some relief from the crippling traffic congestion along I-45, the Gulf Freeway that links Houston to Galveston Island and the port facilities. Now, when I was on my way to the cruise terminal, I went down 45 from Houston, and the traffic was awful, just awful. Then when I left, which was early in the morning, I had gotten off a cruise ship and went straight to my car and drove out of town. It was awful coming off the island. While the road construction continues, the bulk of the lane closures will now be overnight and on weekdays, when there will be least impact on traffic flow. This update comes after Carnival Cruise Line warned us traveling to Galveston about traffic delays in a letter sent out on May the 11th. The intense road construction has been due to multiple projects along I-45, with closures leading to Galveston Island most heavily impacting cruise travelers. Not only have nearby cruisers had much greater than typical driving times at their home port, but travelers flying to Houston have faced driving times of up to several hours to reach the cruise terminal via cabs, shuttles, and ride shares. Without road construction or other problems, the typical drive time is 60 to 90 minutes from Houston airports to the cruise terminal. The Texas Department of Transportation has restored I-45 to 3 lanes, both northbound and southbound, alleviating a great deal of chaos and smoothing driving flow to a much more reasonable transit times. So it's a much needed improvement around Galveston. The Aida cruise ships are resuming service, or 2 of them, that is, 2 Aida cruise ships are resuming service after routine dry docks. Following her dry dock in Lloydworth, the Aida Diva will start on her reverse voyage from Warnemünde to the Norwegian fjords today. The Aida Perla will end its 3-week shipyard stay at Darman in Rotterdam and set off for Hamburg, Germany. The first guests will embark in Hamburg on Monday are sailing for Norway. The delivery ceremony of Viking's latest ocean vessel, the Viking Mars, was held this week at Fincantieri Shipyard in Ancona, Italy. Viking Mars set off for Valletta, Malta, where Lady Fiona Carnival, the ship's godmother, will officially name the vessel later this weekend. The Mars will then sail across the Mediterranean, Scandinavia, Northern Europe before repositioning itself at the end of the year for trips around Australia and New Zealand. And today's That's Neat story, MSC Cruises will introduce new stay and cruise packages this summer to provide guests with a chance to get the most out of their vacations, both ashore and at sea, by offering an enriched and complete end-to-end experience. The line's guests for Eastern Mediterranean voyages will have the opportunity to spend up to 2 days exploring either Venice or Athens before they set sail for their 7-night vacations at sea. The offering will be rolled out late in 2022 for MSC's U.S. sailings from Miami and Port Canaveral, with New York added in the summer of 2023. The new comprehensive offer includes up to 2 nights accommodations in a 4-star hotel with breakfast included, half-day city exploration excursion, luggage transfers from the hotel to guest cabins on board the cruise ship, and private ground transportation to the vessel's embarkation port. Air travel can also be booked through MSC Cruises and added to the stay and cruise packages. Well, that's it for the news this morning, guys. Wasn't a whole lot of news out there today, but they were all good stories. I like that. Jump over and see who's in the chat room this morning. It's Saturday morning. Sonny's with us. Hi, Sonny. Katie's here. Katie loved the tram video. Actually, what happened, Katie, I was shooting the straight video going up the mountain, and my camera ran out of saving space. So it cut me out. So then I quickly flipped over to do a live on Facebook. So I'm going to put all of the pieces back together and make one big video on the excursion. So I got the interview this afternoon with Mr. Bucket List. I don't know if I'll get that done today or not. But anyway, that'll be up soon. So it'll be what you saw from the tram and the rest of it too. So Nikki's with us. Hi, Nikki. Everybody's saying hello back and forth. Sonny wants to know if Katie's packed. I'm leaving in a week to go back to Alaska. Just beautiful there. Boy, that's one thing I totally agree. Even though I, hate the cold, I have loved this trip. And yeah, I've done something. I haven't eaten what I really wanted to eat. I didn't get any crab. The crab shack yesterday, I went by there. It was packed and it was pouring down rain. I wasn't going to stand outside in the rain to wait to get a table. Of course, the infamous Red Dog Saloon had no room for my scooter, and I told them that their cash register had no room for my money. They wanted to get me off the scooter and dump me in a chair and then take the scooter back to the back room someplace. I said, no, that's not going to happen, dude. So I wasn't able to go in the Red Dog Saloon. I went in and clicked the picture and turned around and went out. But I have totally enjoyed this Alaska cruise. It's been fun. I've met some really good people. And of course, spend some time with Justin, Mr. Bucket List, has been outstanding. We're going to get together later on today because he wants to interview me about some accessibility issues. I've gotten some work done. I haven't finished yet, but I hopefully will finish shooting today. So I've got some time tomorrow to go into Victoria, or at least get off the boat there. Hot Air's with us. Hello, Hot Air. Tom, how's things down in New Orleans? Don't you sail from New Orleans? I have a view of Bourbon Street from my seat at the PC in this room. Katie's waiting for new suitcases she ordered from Amazon. Don't wait too long, Katie, in case they're slow delivering. Although I admit, I've been shocked at Amazon recently. I'm placed an order one night and it was there 8:00 the next morning. Who remembers that floating chair the Baron sat in on the original Dune movie? That would be a good chair for Chillie. Okay, I don't remember it. Sonny says she sent some pics from trip a couple weeks ago to Alaska. Maybe he'll be able to show when he gets home. Yes, Sonny, quite frankly, I forgot about him. Yeah, I know I've got him. Maybe when's my next show? Monday. I'll be on the train Monday. So I'll be at the train station. Pretty sure I got to get off the boat Monday. That's 8, 9, 10, 11. Uh-oh. I may have some issues on Monday's show. So I'll have to talk to John on that one, see when he's leaving. I just thought of that, folks. I will be disembarking Monday. Might be a conflict with Showtime. Just stay tuned. I'll let you know before then. We may have an issue with Monday. Jay is on Ovation, Katie says. Katie will send lots of pictures. Yes, she's really good about that. Where do you send your pictures to Chillie? She sends them on to Messenger. Messenger's the easiest way from. It's not necessarily easiest for you, but it's easiest for me to do something with the pictures. There's Emily popped in. Jerry's with us from Martha's Vineyard at last spring, he says. I certainly have had fun over Jerry giving me hell about the window and the porthole. By the way, it was Jerry that nailed me on the window porthole issue. And he turned out to be right. I was wrong. So it was interesting. Chillie, did you bring anything back from Alaska? Emily, no, I don't. I don't bring stuff. I travel as light as possible. Remember, I'm disabled. So no, I don't go buy anything that I have to carry extra. I can't do it. I can't just can't do anything extra at all. My family has learned a long time ago that my days of bringing back, tchotchkes from trips and gifts and stuff that's over. I max out my suitcase that I'm gonna need, and that's all, in my computer bag. All right, Otter says does not look very busy down there. Yesterday, I was walking through the area around 10:30 to 1 p.m. Lots of walking traffic. This morning, the street here was dry, but as soon as Bourbon Street started, it was all wet with wash down, and street cleaner was operating. Katie will be in Martha's Vineyard on June the 17th, Jerry. No cruising from us from New Orleans, strictly a land visit except for the paddle wheel cruises. We have another one on Monday evening. Okay. I was thinking you were doing a regular cruise out of New Orleans. So I was confused. Bourbon Street is near Bank Street, yes? Bank Street in New Orleans? I don't know where Bank Street is. Bourbon Street's the main street in New Orleans. At least the main street for the tourist area. All right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. Again, there'll be a lot of stuff. I've got a lot of stuff to post, folks, that I'm behind on and get further and further behind. Eventually, it'll get posted. I'll get caught up one of these days. So don't forget the Cruise Amigos tomorrow, 2 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. All right, guys, that's it for me for the day. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Think about cruising, and hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. For today, this is the old fat travel guy. Have a fabulous weekend, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.